Welcome to Sports Check with me, Perez, as well. Today, I speak to a man who I've said need no introduction because he has been in this business for decades. He has also ventured into sports administration, where he is the lead face for basketball in the country, as well as the manager of the greatest African boxer ever. Yao Sechi Afari is my guest on Sports Check today. And after this break, we talk basketball, his life, and that of the legendary Azumah Nelson. Welcome back from the break, Yao Sechi Afari, the CEO of Right Sports, the manager of Azumah Nelson, the face of basketball in the country. You have a lot of titles.
And sometimes I wonder how I'm able to share my time. But Perez, thank you so much for this opportunity. And it's good to see you.
Sure.
Yeah.
But someone would ask, why basketball? In a country where football or boxing is the first or the second love, why basketball for you? Why did you make...
Wagwan.
You don't know what is going on. It's like you have little faith. Even Jesus Christ, they asked, can anything good come out of Nazareth?
The losers! May I have your attention? We are about to start today's cooking competition. So if you are inside, kindly come out and let the fun begin. All right, today's the day we've all been waiting for, a chance where we'll get the opportunity to taste the men we've been working with. Yes, it's the Adpool Men's Cooking Competition in partnership with Onga Ilelei. Men, please, I didn't hear the sound though, Ilelei. Yeah, that's what you'll be cooking with. So we've got 5 teams. We've got the pots and plates. Pots and plates, where are your members? They will come, more of them. And we have Loki, that's group 2. And then Vim Boys, I see Vim Boys. And then one name that interests me, Brass Carvers. Did I get the name right? Yes, and then there are Sanka Boys all the way at the back. So the last time we had the maiden edition of the Adpool Ladies Competition, my team won. So yes, on this note, I say, may the best team win. And then special thanks to the organizers of this competition. We know a lot of effort went into making this happen. And I like the setup. Everywhere is looking yellow, Onga. Thanks for sponsoring us. We really appreciate it. And at the end of the day, we're expecting that our men will use the ingredient that we, the women, have been using to make the best meals for them. We just want them to see how it takes, the effort that we put in making the meals that they so enjoy. So today you are in the seat. Impress us. Some of you have wives, girlfriends, and we will see. Are you the men who are always in the kitchen, or in the hall watching TV, this is the time to show us what you've got, because we want to taste something very good. So without wasting much time, I will move to the various teams and speak to their group leaders. And I'm going to start with Group 1, pots and plates. Please, who is your leader? You are. So senior man, you tell us what you are cooking for us today and what the other teams should also expect, because it's a competition. So what are you bringing on board?
Okay, so today we are making pancakes with syrup and fruits.
Okay.
And then for our main, we'll be making spaghetti bolognese. And then we'll top it off with pineapple ginger drink.
Charlie, some pressure. So yes, as I say, in their starters, they've got pancake with syrup and fruit. And then their main meal is spaghetti. Help me pronounce that again. I don't want to mess up, so I'm going to keep it there. And then the dessert, they've got pineapple, ginger, and honey smoothie. It tastes good, and I can't wait to have a taste of pots and plates. Now to the second group, the Loki. I should come, okay. So who is the leader of this team?
I am the leader.
Okay, Eche, talk to us. What do you have?
Well, we are doing banku with oko stew.
Okay.
So that's what we have. And as you can see, we are chopping our veggies for the stew. And then very soon we'll get to our main meal, the banku. And then we have some beverage for dessert. We are doing a combination of tiger nuts, dates, ginger and coconut. I mean, we are men, so yeah, very sumptuous. So that's what you should expect from us.
Men at work, I see you are getting ready for to prepare the banquet and all that. All the best to your team, all right? Okay. Next, we have Group 3. That's the Vim boys. Vim. Charlie. Please, I hope you translate this energy into the cooking. Vim. Okay. Baby, energy, more Vim. Please keep this Vim up. At the end of the competition, we want to see you win. Now, to the leader of the group, tell us what you have on your menu today.
Menu?
Yes.
Our vocational skills, madam says, menu is a list of prepared dishes. And here, just says, we are doing a mutuo with granite soup.
Okay.
And later on, we'll do watermelon juice.
Charlie.
Yes, so that's what we are doing. We have lots of ingredients here, including ginger and akakadro.
All right. So
yes.
what meat do you have in your granite soup?
And I'm near there. Goat. We have goat meat. Yes, goat, catfish, salmon. Yes. Yes. And so on and so forth.
So simply you have a variety in there. Yes. Charlie. Okay, I can see Mr. Jao busily pouring the rice on mutuo. So Vim boys, all the best. All the best. Now let's move to brass carvers. Yes. Their name stands out, and I hope they are going to do something that will wow all of us. So the group leader, Basu, tell us what you have.
Okay. Before that, let me tell you the origin of the Bascavers.
Tell us.
It's the surnames for the group members.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we have Grefo, we have Ahiale, we have the Saki, we have Kwao, we have Adujemfi, we have Vlijo, we have Ejiri, then we have Sechiama. So that's the Bascavers.
Charlie,
so with Bascavers,
solid team.
Yes, with Bascavers, we are preparing fufu with light soup goat.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Fufu is not an easy task, but then
yes.
from the things I'm seeing here, I know you're going to wow us.
Yes.
So
on
the
side, we have a pineapple ginger drink.
Okay.
And also we have some ring donuts, which we are making. Yes.
All right. I can't wait to be back to taste your soup for the fufu. So, brass carvers, all the best to you. Now to the Asanka boys. Asanka boys, I see your team. Yeah, I see you there. Now, let me speak to the group leader. Mr. Blanson, that's it, right? Tell us what you're preparing for us.
You see, I overheard you and the other people talking and making noise. What do we say? Kasa I from ours is to show working. We don't talk much. We just show you what it is, the delicious. Kasa I from show working. That's what we are doing. All right?
So what you have?
So what we have here is, first of all, we have Onga. Okay?
Mama's helping hand.
Mama's helping hand. So we're going to use all of these things to do. You can see that we have Kobe.
Yeah.
We've got momoni, and we've got also salmon. What we are doing is we're taking you back to your roots. We are healthy people and we promote health. So we say eat a lot of local food, locally made food. Kontomre, garden eggs. Okay? So we're doing abum with ampisi. Yes.
And on the side, what you got for us?
Again?
On the side,
on the side we've got tiger nuts. We're using tiger nuts milk. We're using dates. We're using coconut, fresh milk. Coconut fresh. Itself. You know, again, it's all organic. And that's the most important thing. We are very organic right here.
All right. And I can see you men at work. So Asanka boys, all the best. Now, let's not forget, they'll all be preparing this delicious meals with onga. Now, we've got the onga chicken, onga ginger and garlic. Then we got the shrimp. We got the onga classic, my personal favorite, and the onga stew. These are the ingredients they'll be using just to make the meals taste very nice. So without wasting my time, I know the men are at work. We'll get close to some of the judges and hear from them what they expect. How are they going to mark these people? Pearl. Yeah, so I've been joined by one of the judges, Pearl. Now, Pearl, tell us, you've seen our team, 5 teams. They are at work, trying to cook the best so that their team comes out as the winner. How will you be marking them? What are you looking for?
Okay, we'll be looking at taste.
The taste.
The time. The team that is able to finish cooking first. The teamwork, neatness, and then cooking ethics.
So cleanliness is very key here.
Very key.
All right. Now, you know with men, we say that they don't always cook. Like it's just once in a while. So are you expecting the best of taste, or you're going to rate them like normal because they are men? Let's just give it to them.
No, we are expecting the best of taste.
Okay.
The best of taste. They are men, and men cook. We say what men can do, women can do and do better. So they can also do what women do. So we are expecting the best of taste.
So thank you very much, Pearl. Now to the various teams. Pearl just gave me, let me give you an apple. One of the judges says she's looking out for the taste. So we are not going to consider that, pass. No, we are expecting the best. So all the best to the various teams, pots and plates, Loki, Vim Boys, Asanka, and then Brass Carvers. I hope I got the name right. Energy. So we're going to give them the time. We're going to go around and see behind the scenes. So Sandra, over to the boys.
Where's the tiger net?
Yeah, okay.
The yellow. Loki. Vim. You don't believe in us. Don't worry, they don't believe in us. By the time we'll be done with it.
So far, What's that? Tomato sauce. It's small. It's okay. It's very good.
Now, don't forget that GhanaWeb has got some exciting programs. So, if you tune in on GhanaWeb TV, you can watch Monts and Cuddles by Paula Mabroni, myself, and Komo. That's the weekly wrap of all the things that went down in the entertainment industry. And we have Bloggers Forum with Abrantepa, People and Places with Wanda Ami Hagan, and we got The Lowdown with Ismail Niakwe, and Say It Loud with George AEC. We have Untold with Eche Atisu. And for the business people too, we've got Bistek with the team Na Oyokote, Mauli, and Ernestina Asewa Santi. For the sports lovers, we've got the Sports Check with the team Perez Ezwa Kwao, and then Joseph Ni Adamafiu. And on Fridays, we've got the Sports Debate with Joel Eshen and Emmanuel Eni. We've got some amazing programs on the show, so you can always tune in. Visit GhanaWeb TV to watch Monts and Cuddles, Sports Debates, Sports Check, in Komowo Hall, People and Places, The Lowdown, a lot. We've got a variety for you that you could choose from. So without wasting much time, we'll join the team and see how far they are going with their cooking. Oh, Marvin. The cooking going?
Oh, so far so good. It's quite okay. We're trying our very possible best to meet the time as well. So yeah, we're hoping everything turns out very well.
But how has been the experience cooking with men?
It's good. I mean, yeah, we're all men, but everybody has their own style. So having to blend and then, you know, joining as a team, so it's quite also important, but it's good so far.
Sure, I'll be back. All the best. Then boys, please, I'm back again. I just want to see how far you've gone with your cooking. Any challenges? What would your remarks be?
Yes, so the challenge was that we had a small saucepan for the omucho, but we've strategically taken some off to make room for the omucho to be able to boil well. Now we have our groundnut paste done. You see the oil on it nicely. Now we have, you can smell the steamy. Vim!
I'll be back. What is currently going on here? What's this?
Yes.
Okay, this one is
for the green donut. Yes.
Ayala, say something to us. How has the experience been working with your fellow men?
The experience is great. We are doing everything to prove to people that we know how to cook better than the ladies. We will prove them that we are the best chef when it comes to this competition.
No problem, I will be back. How would you rate working with all these men and the experience so far when it comes to cooking? Has it been smooth or you find a bit difficulty?
Oh, now Azumah Mr. Blankson waha. Ibia okay, ibia under control. But to my chimeko, Papa is so okay.
But what have you been doing? So tell us.
Oh, me motivation. I'm so mkosia imi ana me no aye. Aka say me yi hu, ba me ni bo nti me yi hu a, nwansa bi siso. Nti later no, me yi hu.
Marvin,
atadwe milk na be ye no so. Ti atadwe no so be atadwe milk. Omo wi aye blender. Na e be atadwe no. Ana e be atadwe.
All the best, Mr. Joe. Joe. Sports debates. How has the experience been so far?
Oh, it's been good. We don't see. But we see if you check the men in my team, all of them, Mr. Blackson is married. All the others too, they've been preparing the food for their girlfriends when they come around. So we have experts in our team. Yes.
Even though we have challenges with saucepans or cooking pans,
yes,
you know, we're still getting ready. Our control is getting ready.
All right, I can see.
You can see. Our yam here and garden eggs getting ready. We'll remove the garden eggs from it, and then we'll grind it into our bowl.
I have here with me Fatima. Fatima, I've seen you around. You've been observing.
Yeah.
will you still say you need the collodium, or the men have impressed you?
Well, they've impressed me.
Okay.
Few of them. Few of the groups have impressed me, yes. I just keep licking the soup and tasting it. Each member comes to taste. Just the soup will finish before we will come and judge.
Ladies, now before we started the competition, I heard feedback like, we need to get our collodium. We are not sure if the men can impress us. But judging from what is going on so far, I'll start with you, Efia. What would your ratings be?
Oh, I'll give them 7 over 10. Honestly, yeah, I'm impressed from what I've seen so far. Yeah, the donuts especially, like yeah, I'm really ready for that one.
Charlie,
and then the banku and oko. So everybody is doing something that I'm looking forward to. So we will see. Some of them are confused, but they are like focused confused. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes,
they are so bold with it.
All right. Sweetheart, are you rooting for any team so far? Like, which team are you rooting for? Who do you think can take the ultimate award, the grand prize?
I can't say for now because they are not yet, but so far the Banku group
I think they are the Vim boys.
Yeah, no, the
Low-key.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But this group is the
Asanka boys
are also very organized and neat.
They are very organized.
So
all right.
I can't really tell.
Sure. Now to the queen of Assam, Sarah Vicky.
Oh, I feel so far so good. I mean, they are doing it. In fact, they've nailed it. Especially with the commendation can see upon the Bema Bernard. Because I expect to say, now to pop on the real to me really bank what I said. One lie. Chalo Maya. To show me team now, show me you to me and promise, but I'm hoping say, yeah, Vim.
Douglas, you've been standing here, you've been observing me who say, I don't know if you have a favorite and all that, but then what would your rating be? Over 10. Oh, your rating?
All of them.
For the organization, if you want to go group by group, well, how would you rate them?
I can't give my rating now.
Yes,
but I think they are foursome. Some of them are doing very well. I'd rather mention my MVP.
Oh, do.
Who I'll give the MVP? I'll give it to Adam from Group 1.
Pots and plates.
Pots and plates.
What are you looking out for in the cooking?
I love the taste. Like, it should just be tasty. And then she smell good. Smell good.
Yes,
now, Miniano.
Oh, no, Piano. Me and boy say.
Oh, our favorite men's hair. Oh,
they're all my favorites. They're all my favorites.
You're all your favorites. Yes. All right, great. Stella, can be betrayed.
Maybe I'm a rooty giddy, I'm a low key.
Energy. So, judges, we're going to start with the first table. That's pots and plates. Team lead, please show our judges what you have.
Welcome to Group 1. So we made pancake with syrup and fruits. And then for our main, we have spaghetti bolognese. And then we topped it up with pineapple ginger drink. So once again, you are welcome. If you are ready, we would be glad to serve you so you can do your tasting.
The judges are doing the tasting.
Tiger nut combo is a combination of tiger nut, dates, coconut, and then ginger. Yes, so we call it charger. Yes, AKA charger. Yes, so that's our food.
and add this stuff. We'll also go around and have a taste of the cookie from me.
Organic foremost, we have Onga, Ilele, Mamas helping hand. Okay? In actual fact, you have come to the organic center.
Yes.
We have yam, we have cocoyam, we have plantain, and we have cassava. Local. Then when you come to what to go with these, we have garden eggs, abum, and we have contombre, abum. So we have Kobe in here, we have Kobe in there, we have pear, we have eggs, and indeed, because we went to an organic, food art school. You see that we garnished it with vegetables, onions, and of course, tomatoes. In it, we have momone, a bone same momone. But it's very healthy. Enjoy it, and when you are done, please, organic tiger nut milk.
Our judges are on the very last table at Sanka Boys. Ladies, there's going to be time for us to taste. So for the moment, just to be fair, we'll give them some space when the judges are done. So team, please do not stay for now. Please, team, please don't send them for now, we beg you. Please, no tasting for now, no tasting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. DJ. Our third team, top, bottom, and top, as I said, got 230 points. And that team is Pots and Plates. Let's give it to them. I think if there is an award for MVP for the day, that award should go to Adam, who is a member of Pots and Plates, because he proved today that he's a real MVP. So let's give it up for Adam. So our second team got 224 points. Sorry. 238 points. Our second team got 238 points. And our first team got 253 points. Let's give it up to them once again. So I'm going to announce the winner, but the second team will come for the award. So ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, the winning team for today, Output Men's Maiden Cooking Competition, is the one and only. Who should we give it to? Peter, give us one. Our winner for today is the Asante.
Welcome to Sports Check with me, Perez, as well. Today, I speak to a man who I said need no introduction because he has been in this business for decades. He has also ventured into sports administration, where he is the lead face for basketball in the country, as well as the manager of the greatest African boxer ever. Yao Sechi Afari is my guest on Sports Check today. And after this break, we talk basketball, his life, and that of the legendary Azumah Nelson. Welcome back from the break. Yao Sechi Afari, the CEO of Right Sports, the manager of Azumah Nelson, the face of basketball in the country. You have a lot of titles.
And sometimes I wonder how I'm able to share my time. But Perez, thank you so much for this opportunity. And it's good to see you.
Sure.
Yeah.
But what someone would ask, why basketball in a country where football or boxing is the first or the second love? Why basketball for you? Why did you make that decision to go into basketball?
And the question I ask people, why not basketball? At the end of the day, there are several sports being promoted in this country. And the last time I checked, over 40 of them with the National Sports Authority. And beyond the federation, private people need to be interested to support the activities of this federation. So my journey or my partnership with basketball started back in 2003.
Wow.
So we're talking 19 years ago. We're talking in 2022, so 19 years ago. And it started as me fulfilling my responsibility as head of events and promotions with Choice FM.
I mean, it's a great journey from where you took it to when. But how difficult has it been for, of course, Coca-Cola have been faithful partners and they keep supporting you, but you know, in our part of the world, people want to see a lot of numbers. They want to see maybe basketball stars in the NBA before they commit some resources to it. So how difficult or easy has it been in your 90-year journey?
It's been difficult. And I always say big ups to Coca-Cola for the support. However, the longest we've gone was back in 2010, where we engaged 8 regions. Then it was 10 regions. Why? Because it's all about budget limitation. If Coca-Cola gives you 100 Ghana cedis and is able to do, let's say, 3 regions, but there are 7 other regions yearning to be part of it. So yes, they are doing their best, but if you had extra resources, you'll be able to do more than you're doing.
Sure.
And so it's been difficult. At this point, I won't say it's as difficult as back then.
Sure.
It's better because basketball popularity is soared. It's been discussed on radio, television, it's everywhere. but we still need enough corporate bodies in that space.
But then, so what would you say for football, for instance? I once said an executive council member saying, if they got, say, $5 million, they will be able to put the league where they think it's supposed to be. Based on your knowledge of the basketball field, how much investment do we think we need if we really, really want to develop the sport?
Hey, this question, I haven't put numbers to it, I have to confess. But we need some investment. So I give you an example. We do not have a national indoor arena as I speak with you. The last match check, Cape Coast had something, but it's not standard for an NBA team to want to come and play here, an European team want to come here on their training tour. So you need investment in that area. You need to build, at least get one in Kumasi, get one in Accra, get one in Takoradi. If you have 4 indoor arenas, minimum seating capacity about 2,500, 3,000, it will completely change the face of basketball in Ghana. I kid you not. We're going to have a lot of teams travel to Ghana. We can hold international competitions here. And only God knows how many kids would, through basketball, access higher education, get employed, and change their life situation and become an inspiration.
I mean, despite all these challenges, you have done really for yourself. And I've followed the basketball for a while, so I know how difficult it's been. I mean, pulling resources together to state some of things, but nonetheless, we've been able to make an impact where we've had stars from this. What are some of the known faces from the Sprite Ball Challenge or from your marriage with basketball that Ghanaians should know?
Known faces that we've invited to Ghana?
No, who you have produced basically.
Oh, so this is the interesting part. We describe ourselves as, and I'm talking about Right Sports, as enablers.
Sure.
We create the platform that would create other industries or other players out of it. So I'll give you an example. We are promoters. We organize events, get everybody excited, get the media talking about it, get parents coming, get fans excited. But we are not agents. Sure. We don't manage people. Yeah. So we have agents or basketball people who come and sit and identify the players. And it's okay, yeah, I want to work with this boy. I think it's good. I have a connection with this school abroad. And so we don't take credit for everything, but we are the people who bring everybody together. We showcase them and say, what can you do? So out of the work, you now have like Clock. Clock used to play for KSTS, play for Tech. Now Clock is doing basketball attires. He's got a brand company, and we didn't create it, but he takes inspiration from it. Because why? He's seen the need to position himself as a guy who can provide jerseys. Because Yelsichi and his team, we don't produce jerseys. Yeah. So out of the programs, businesses are being formed. Do you understand my point? Yeah. A lot of kids from Sprite Ball are playing in colleges, some are in high school, and all over the place, which can put a list of them there. What we haven't had is, okay, who is playing in the NBA, like the notable leagues. Yeah. Ben Bentel is not a product of Sprite Ball, but Ben Bentel, it's a product of the basketball ecosystem in Ghana. Sure. And so sometimes you can point to Ben Bentel and say, okay, but at least he didn't survive in the NBA, but at least on the Knights drafted 51st by Boston Celtics, that is a product of Ghana.
Do you think that in the near future we're going to see, Ghanaian basketball stars in the NBA? I mean, based on the investment you're making, based on the fact that now there seems to be some interest in the sport as well, or do you think maybe the height factor?
Are we going to see Ghanaians in the NBA and professional leagues around the world? I say a big yes to it. Once we can stay consistent and begin to monitor the progress of these young kids who have had the opportunity to travel abroad to pursue higher basketball and education. So yes, it's an emphatic yes if we're going to see some kids in the NBA.
Do you have some names?
Yes, currently There's a guy called Agbeko. There's a Max Olokwampa. There's this kid also called Senna. A lot of them. I don't keep track of them because, like I said, that's not my space. We don't own these players.
My last question, though, what's the future of Sprite Ball?
As long as Coca-Cola is committed to this process and they have not indicated anything other than they excited about this opportunity or this platform to see kids grow in the area of basketball and music, we'll continue to be here to do it. And of course, we're open to other businesses that want to come into the space and to help, nurture basketball talents in Ghana. So yes, Sprite Ball has been coming a long way. It's since 2007, and we're still here growing strong.
Congratulations. I mean, you've won some awards as well. You've been featured in the Emmys. So.
Yes. So I remember 2010, we're recognized by Swag Awards. We're given a Meritorious Awards for the development of basketball. And in New York, there's an award called 3G. And we were there also to receive in 2014, Happy FM organized the Ghana Fan Sports Awards. We also recognized. And in 2017, I think you can see in the background, the big one, the Man of the Year Sports at the Emmy West Africa at Kempinski. It was fantastic. I didn't think I deserved it. I didn't think so because I looked at the category and you had Kwesi Nyantichi, you have Tony Bafu, and I'm like, okay, football people, there we go again. So when my name was mentioned, it took me a second to say, no, hang on, are they just mentioning my name or they're saying I'm the winner? And so you should see that I was running to the front to receive the award, and I dedicated to the basketball people of Ghana.
I mean, congratulations. I mean, it's a good recognition. You've sacrificed a lot for a sport that does not get a lot of funding. You've done so well for it. So, yeah, said she has been talking his basketball. We come back from the break and we're going to talk Azumah Nelson. He's also a teacher to one of the most recognized, one of the world-known sports personalities. So we'll be speaking to him about that as well. This is Sports Check and Perez as well. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back from the break, and this is Sports Check with me, Perez as well. We've been speaking to Yaset here earlier, and we talked about basketball, the Sprite Ball Challenge, the good works he's been doing to develop the sport. Now we zoom into another aspect of his life, which is his engagement with the legendary Azumah Nelson. Yeah. So how did you and Azumah Nelson meet? How did it come about? I mean, you have some great relationship.
Yes. Great memories. So every Ghanaian knows Azumah Nelson. Yeah. So just like yourself, I knew Azumah from a distance. But my relationship with him started way back in 2010. Okay. So I'll take you back a bit. When I was working my time at Choice FM, sometime in 2005, I was in the office one Monday morning when I got a call from the receptionist that a white man is looking for me. I said, a white man, did he mention my name? He said, yes, he mentioned your name. I said, really? Okay, I'm not expecting any white man, but well, you let him come. So he walks in, I offered him a seat, and then I asked how I can help. And he goes, the Holy Spirit asked me to come and see you. So I have to pull my seat and sit properly. Holy Spirit, wow. So, and what did the Holy Spirit say? So I was listening to you on Saturday, and I was moved to come and talk to you about how you can help me with my youth ministry that I want to set up in Ghana. And I said, okay, what's my role? What do you want me to do? And he said, oh, just to talk about it on radio and then to MC the events as and when we organize that. I said, is that all you need from me? So yes, it's okay. Anything for God, I mean. So we did a few events. He is from the UK. It's called Reverend Martin Reed. So we did a few events. He went back to the UK, but he stayed in touch. So sometime in 2006 or 7 or so, 2010, sometime in March, I got a call from Reverend Martin Reed and said, hey, yo. So Reverend, how are you? So, okay, I need you to assist a friend of mine. And I said, okay, who? He said, Azumah Nelson. I said, which of the Azumah Nelsons? Oh, the boxer. Remember he was at my wedding? I said, yes. So he's doing something, and I told him that you can be of help. So I need your permission to send your number to him. I said, no, give me his number, let me call him. I mean, this is Azumah we're talking about. But guess what? Even before he will call me, he's giving my number to Azumah, but wanted to just, be formal about it. So he tossed me Azumah's number. I used to live at Achimota, not too far from Kwame Shobi's boutique, the current Malcolm, which is less than 5 minutes from Azumah's house. So I called Azumah. And so the moment he picked up, he said, Openi. I said, no, I'm a young man. And he said, oh, I got your number from Martin, Reverend Martin. He said, yeah, he talked about you. I said, are you home? He said, yes. I said, okay, I'm coming over. And he said, do you know my house? I said, I'm 5 minutes from your house. I said, really? So I went by. And back then, he was working on, with his team, they were working on a book called 12 Rounds of Boxing and Life.
Okay.
It's a supplementary book approved by the GS for junior high schools and high school students. He relates life in the boxing to life outside the ring. How you need to be focused, God-fearing, yada, yada, yada. So he said, okay, yeah, they're trying to launch a book and they need, people on board. No problem. So I showed up at the meeting a few times. I had a few concerns about how this whole thing was being put together. So I had a private conversation with him. And I said to him, I've looked at the products that you want us to launch. I have a few issues with the product. And knowing the person you are, your name cannot be associated with this. So I made my case. He heard me and he said, okay, can you say it at our next meeting? I said, why not? So at the next meeting, these are big boys. So I had to listen. So towards the tail end of the meeting, then I raised it. I had taken the book, I had circled all the mistakes, and I told the committee that I have looked at the book carefully. I don't think we should launch this book because this is Azumah. I said, why? I said, because I've seen a few mistakes. They've printed 5,000 or 10,000 copies from Australia. I said, we have to throw it away. So Azumah was just quiet, watching the reaction of the people. And I've taken my time and circled the problems. So nobody could argue. So then Samuel Kaite of blessed memory, who was then the manager of Azumah Nelson, asked me, so what are you suggesting? I said, we're going to throw the books away and reprint them.
About 5,000 copies?
About, I think 5,000 or 10,000 copies printed from Australia. So I said, can I have a soft copy of the book? Then Azumah instructed the secretaries to send it to me. Then I gave the soft, when I received it, I forwarded it to some other people for them to work on it, improve, add some stuff. And then we reprinted it, not in Australia, but we reprinted in Ghana. And so then Azumah noticed that, okay, this is a young man, a lot of energy, he's here to help, especially from the person who recommended me. And that's how my relationship started with him. So then we started writing about him, streamlining his foundation. Azumah Nelson Foundation. Azumah is a philanthropist, we all know that. Azumah, people love Azumah for many reasons. Beyond his humility, he gives. He's a very generous man. When Azumah was fighting, people were praying for him for different reasons. There were people who saw their school fees in his pocket. There were people who saw their rent issues in his pocket. So they would go on their knees and pray for him, beyond just bringing in national honor. Because anytime Azumah finished fighting and he came back to Ghana, he sat in a seat like this and listened to people tell their problems and gives them money. The people queued in his house. And these are things that people have said it over and over again. We go places and Kwame Sefakan is talking to me about how he helped him before. Azigiza Jr. is talking about how he gave him money to set up a studio. Everybody talks about his generosity. So I noticed back then that, look, there are people also who take advantage of such stuff. So we needed to streamline the foundation activities. So anytime people came with problems, you have to refer to me.
But I'm sure there have been a few down moments, maybe not from Azumah himself, but maybe there are certain instances or situations where you were not happy, or you were sad, or you were perhaps angry.
With him?
Not necessarily, but because of your association with him.
Oh, okay. So there have been moments where, because I know so much and how people have abused their relationship with him over the period, And yet Azumah will be laughing with these people. Sometimes I don't get it. Perhaps you understand? Like, because of what I know, I'm like, what kind of man is this? Yes, I know the Bible tells you to forgive. But you know, some people would do you something. You're wondering, why are you still talking to him and being nice and still supporting? And as I said, the man is like, he's just too good. So sometimes I get frustrated over something that I'm not even supposed to be frustrated. And sometimes also when people, I'm not going to mention a name. So one time, Azumah and I had a meeting with a certain guy. Young guy, made money. You said we should come see because Azumah built a 6-classroom block at Enuma Papem. And we wanted to have a computer lab. And this guy sold laptops and things. And he said, oh yeah, come with the old man. I really like what he's doing, blah, 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 blah. Perez, if you have a meeting with Azumah and you say 1:30 he's there. I am always the late guy. I think I'm on time, but Azumah is like in time. So you said 2 o'clock. You said 2 o'clock. We got there at 1:45. Sat at the reception. There are cameras all over the place, so you can see that we are there. Yeah. I told the receptionist that Azumah is here to see this guy. Paris, we are there. It's 2:20. It's 2:30. It's 2:40. It's 3. 1 hour. Somebody came. Some government guy, politician came. Within 2 minutes, enter. So I went to the receptionist and I said, tell him it's very disrespectful. Yeah. If he doesn't have time to see us, he should say. In the next 5 minutes, if he's not ready to see us, it's fine. We have to go. I said, look, tell him that if I came alone, boy, I won't have a problem. Sure. But to have the old man seated here for 1 hour without attending to us is very disrespectful. So tell him. So I'm sure he had seen my interaction. I don't know how the secretary told him, but within 5 minutes, the secretary came and said, he said we should meet in the boardroom. Mm-hmm. And when he walked in, I said to him, I said, bro, in front of Azumah, I said, bro, that's wrong. I mean, I know you're a big man, you want to help, but Charlie, you don't do that. Yeah. If I came alone, and I repeated, I said, bro, if I came alone, it's different. But to have the man sit here and 1 hour, so yeah, Charlie, you know how the pressure there. I said, no, chill. So if I have the slightest hint that you want to despise, try and misbehave small, I take it very personal because I have seen how people revere this man. I have seen in New York how immigration officers will abandon their post and run after Azumah for autograph. Wow. I have seen how boxers will be gathered in a room and they'll be calling my phone to say, where is Azumah? Because without Azumah, this program is not starting. I have seen in Azerbaijan where the WBC will say, Azumah and Costa Zoo, you are the only two to meet the president and go on television. I have seen the respect. So when we are here and somebody, small boy B1, misbehave, I take it very personal, but he is calm about it.
What about the higher moments, your favorite moments with Azumah?
I think my favorite moment, Charlie, favorite moment with Azumah, okay, I don't say this in any, he's a very funny guy.
Really?
Okay, see, Azumah is funny. He's a very quiet, but when he's comfortable, my goodness. And he can tease. So, like...
He doesn't look like it.
Exactly. So that's the interesting part. Like if he's here, he can drop some comments. You're like, did he just say that? That's Azumah. So there's no dull moments with him. Okay. But I think my highest moments will be in 2004. 2014 in Las Vegas, December 15 to be precise, when he was crowned WBC's greatest super featherweight boxer of all time. And it was very refreshing. I was with him, I carried the belt. and the accolades, the things the boxers were saying about him. I picked a camera and I was doing an interview. Mike Tyson, George Foreman, all of them. And he would say to Mike Tyson, "Hey, Mike, that's my son." And Mike will say, "Oh," so you can imagine everybody, and these are legends. I see them from afar, but now I am standing next to them. And Azumah is holding my hand and say, "Hey, Mike, that's my son. Talk to him." And when the WBC and all these people want to talk to him about the business, he will say, "Talk to my son." I don't know what else, I don't know what greatest moments that is. So I've had several moments with him, but I think the 2014, December 15th, in Las Vegas may stand out as one of my moments with him, where I stood there and witnessed him being crowned as the greatest WBC, greatest super featherweight boxer of all time.
How does he take all of this? I mean, the fame,
he is super calm.
Respect.
He is super calm. I think fame has never gotten into his head. I don't know how he's able to do it, but he will tell you that if you fear God, you will know that the fame and the money and everything came from above. And so there's a certain source. So if you treat people sharply, you condescend, you disrespect people, God will take that fame from you. So he's very mindful, he's very God-fearing, and when I say God-fearing, proper respect.
Any idea how he got the name Professor?
Oh, it was after this fight against Jeff Fenech in 1992, where there was a very controversial fight. The first one, I think that was in 91 in Las Vegas. Azumah tells me he wasn't feeling too well. He was down with malaria. And Jeff Fenech from Australia is a very aggressive fighter. He used to be a kickboxer. So he's very dirty. Elbow, and Azumah wasn't completely fit, but he couldn't check out of the fight. So they went ahead and they traveled the distance. They went to the 12th round and the guy did well. So Jeff Fenech expected to be declared the winner and was declared a draw. And he was livid. He was shouting, screaming, accusing everybody, robbery, yada, yada, yada. And Azumah said, "Okay, no problem. You know why? I was not well. You couldn't knock me out. Choose a venue. Tell me where." And in his own words, he said, "Your father can be the judge, your mother can be the referee, your kids can be the fans. It can happen in your bedroom. I'll still knock you out." Because I was sick, he couldn't do anything about it. So it was after the fight, and then he said, "Oh, this was like a father and son relationship." and then the commentator said, "Oh, it's like a professor." I said, "Oh yeah." So the name actually came from the commentator. So that's a boxing professor who can beat somebody, because he said, "I will beat him and teach him his mistakes."
For someone who is quite unassuming, Azumah did the trash talking quite well. Sometimes I watch some of the things he said prior to, I'm like, how can this man be saying this? He's looking like, but he's a great boxer.
He is.
I don't know, but I don't think we'll ever get someone in Ghana here who will fight like him.
Are we ever going to have another Azumah Nelson? Of course, we can have, if the person is ready to pay the price for it. And obviously, the person's name will not be Azumah Nelson, but it could be a Perez, it could be a Yao, it could be a Kojo. But the price will be: will the person stay humble? Will the person be ready to listen? Will the person be God-fearing? Will the person not condescend, despise, and disrespect people? Will the person be serious about his training regime? And everything that goes into building an outstanding boxer. If we have somebody ready to pay that price, then we can have not just a champion that will be a flash in the pan, but a champion who will stay a champion for a very long time.
Some feel that he's our greatest sports personality ever.
Definitely. And of course, Azumah's name transcends just boxing. Azumah's name, you can put philanthropy there. You can put somebody who is a motivator, because in recent times he's not boxing, but he's inspiring and motivating a lot of people. So there are corporate events where Azumah will go and talk to workers on how to persevere for excellence.
I mean, thank you very much, Yasser Ferry, for hosting us.
Welcome.
In your office. This is Sports Check, and Yasser Ferry, they see you of Right Sports and the manager of Azumah Nelson has been my guest. We've been speaking basketball as well as the career of Azumah Nelson and what he thinks the legendary boxer's legacy will be. Until we come your way with another edition of the show, I am Perez as well. Yapon.
I'll see Yapon.
Welcome to the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. This is the most interactive socio-political program you can find online. We bring you facts and updates on issues that matter to you. My name is Ismail Akwe, and in this edition, we are going to discuss tourism. The tourism industry has been very vibrant lately. We had Kwewu Easter celebrations and also other celebrations all over the country. We are going to discuss how the tourism industry can help build up or even bring in more revenue into our economy. Our guest is from the Ghana Tourism Authority. He will be doing this discussion with us. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back from the break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. Our guest is Kofi Atakakra Kusi. He is the Deputy Head of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. Welcome, Kofi.
Thank you, my brother.
I know you have been very busy this past week.
Very, very busy.
Kwewu Easter has been a great success.
Absolutely.
And how did it go? How did you prepare? How did you plan? How did you manage to bring all the pilots and all of them?
I won't cut you up. It's about product development, right? Kwewu Easter has been developed over time, and this is a time for us to reap the benefit out of it. Before I continue, let me give a big greetings to the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Awa Mohammed, and his Deputy, Honorable Mark Okrikumante. I'm not forgetting my Chief Executive, Mr. Kwesi Ajiman, and the currently appointed Board Chairman of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Honorable Seth Ejema. You see, Kwewu has been a test case as we moved swiftly from COVID restrictions. As the President, His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, lifted the restrictions just about a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, you realize that we launched the Kwewu Easter celebrations sometime on the 16th of March. And since that time, the euphoria has been of a kind. Bro, you see, what has been the case is that we have been very much particular about domestic tourism, trying to improve our domestic setting. When COVID struck, you do recall that the global community, we could not travel to anyone's country. So obviously, what it means is that we have to do our own well. In the account balance, they say, so we are to make sure that ours has been made proper before looking at the other countries and all that. So basically what the authority does is to market the country domestically and internationally. So if you look at Kwewu, as in Kwewu Easter celebrations, it's been back to back. We had a number of activities and events that took place there. If you look at the events and activities, one has to do mainly the paragliding festival, which of course brings a lot of diasporans and people of African descent into the country, and then international tourists from all over the globe. They're all here. Also, we have musical concerts, we have pool parties, we have a lot of activities took place. You have carnival, street carnivals, masquerade festival, and all that.
We saw all of them because
Yes.
we are doing so well with communication.
Absolutely.
But how long did it take you to plan the Kwewu Easter Festival?
Yes, as a matter of fact, like I said, it's about product development. So even in the time of the restrictions, the authority under the leadership of Mr. Kwesi Agyeman was working assiduously behind the scenes, making sure that we were cementing all the loose holes in order to make sure that we get a clear picture of how it will look like. So our marketing actually started in the time of COVID. During the restrictions, we were working assiduously behind the scenes. Of course, what the authority has a research department, and the research department way back sometime last year even undertook what we call a farm tour to Kwewu and its environs in order to do a farm tour of the entire enclave. So that is exactly what we did, and this is the results.
Did you have any data as to the number of people who were present at Kwewu?
Good. This is a very good question. Let me commend you for this. Research is very key to any industry. Like it is, the Ghana Tourism Authority has been very strong when it comes to our research. So we have a whole directorate in charge of research. Our research department was stationed in Kwewu during the festivities. They have always been there. So always we generate a tourism report that gives you a report of what our event and activities was like. But of course, you know that we just came from Kwewu. So the research department is still working assiduously in order to generate the needed reports so that we could be able to feed the teeming public. And in as much as that be the case, of course, the Honorable Minister has indicated, Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Awar Mohammed had indicated early on that we are looking at raking in close to about annually, we are looking at raking in close to about $2.3 billion into the economy.
$2.3 billion annually.
Annually.
An estimate.
In estimate.
Okay. So is Kwewu Easter going to be a regular event? I know Easter is annual. However, the other activities like the paragliding and then the others, which are done annually during Easter period, there are so many calls for it to be done, regularly, like maybe every month there should be something around paragliding. Is this something you're going to consider? Have you thought about it?
Good, my brother. You've asked a very good question once again. I think I must commend GhanaWeb for your line of questions. It's very good. The CEO, my CEO had indicated early on during interviews with the media, he had indicated that because we are trying to entrench our domestic setting in terms of our domestic tourism, trying to improve our domestic tourism, what the Ghana Tourism Authority will be doing is that as part of the pilots, obviously, let me say this again. The pilot, we had pilots from Peru, Switzerland, USA, and then Germany. And then there was one Ghanaian pilot. What the authority is doing moving forward is to get a number of Ghanaian pilots to fly so that we would not depend on the white man. I am a Pan-Africanist personally, and I believe in we making our own better. In making our own better, we do not need the white man to be there for us. We have to develop our own. That is why Jonathan used to be a solo pilot.
So Jonathan is a Ghanaian pilot?
He's a Ghanaian pilot.
Okay.
Jonathan
He was the only Ghanaian one?
The only Ghanaian
Jonathan
pilot.
Kwe.
Jonathan Kwe.
Okay.
He's a solo pilot. And then the others are, and then there are others who are also tandem pilots. What it means is that when someone is a solo pilot, the person flies alone.
Okay.
Then you graduate to become a tandem pilot. Fortunately enough, now Jonathan Kwe is a tandem pilot. For years, he's been a solo pilot. He was training, and by the grace of God, he's now a tandem pilot. There is a certifying agency that looks at paragliders. So
in Ghana?
Yes, not in Ghana,
okay,
but outside there.
Or was he training under the auspices of the Ghana Tourism Authority, or he was independent?
Yes, we were part of the push.
Okay.
Yes, the Tourism Authority was part of the push. The Ministry of Tourism also part of the push. So that is why the Chief Executive had indicated, Mr. Kwesi Agyeman had indicated that moving forward, the Tourism Authority is looking at having local pilots, local content. Local content is very important in order to improve our tourism industry. So we are also looking at private investors coming in to invest in the paragliding sport as an aviation sport and other various events and activities that we have in the country.
So are there any other Ghanaian pilots under training, tandem pilots?
As at the moment, there are others who are also undergoing training, as CEO had indicated. But at the right time, we're going to make it public for Ghanaians to know exactly who they are, what they are, and then also we are trying to. There's a training pitch that is being looked at in the near future, so that they could have that uniform training.
So until we get a number of Ghanaian pilots, we can't have paragliding every month or any other time.
Good. So that is our target.
Okay.
Our target is that once we have the local pilots, obviously we are expected to fly each, maybe every holiday. Yeah, maybe Independence Day. My brother, you go with your family and then your daughter or son wants to fly. Why not? Yeah. So they would have to probably do some bookings beforehand, before getting there. Then they go through the process and then paraglide. So we are looking at each over the year round. Over the year round, we should be able to have paragliding.
So let's talk about domestic tourism. Now we've seen the Accra City Tour. Is there a Kumasi City Tour?
Yes, that will be coming.
That will be coming. So it's just Accra for now.
Accra City Tour.
And I see a lot of people showing excitement and joining the tours and all of that. How did that idea come up?
Good, my brother. Thank you. You've asked a very good question. You see, tourism is a private sector driven sector. What it is that we as an authority, we are to engage our private sector strongly in order for them to be on board. They coming on board, they bring a lot of ideas, a lot of things that they bring on board. For example, in bringing up about the idea of the Accra City Tour, we had to engage our private sector, which of course we call them the Ghana Tourism Federation, GHATOF. We call them Ghana Tourism Federation, GHATOF, GHATOF, GHATOF. So what GHATOF does is that it has umbrella associations. It has trade associations under it. So GHATOF is the umbrella body, and you have the association, trade associations. The trade associations include the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, the Car Renters Association of Ghana, the Ghana Hotels Association, you have the Tour Guides Association, you have the Kids in Tourism, you have the Tourism Society of Ghana. So all these Cow Club, all these associations, about 33 associations under the private sector, our tourism private sector. We call them the tourism value chain. Okay. So they are specifically those who make sure that the engine of the tourism industry runs. How do we run? The tour operator is more or less a segregator. They segregate their activities. If I say the tour operator segregates its activities, what it does is that if the tour operator picks up a tour from, for example, the airport, okay, obviously the tourist is going to sleep, isn't it? So the hotels would have their share. Do you get it? The tour guide will come in. The tour guide would have to give, how do we call it, directions. This is Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum. This is that. This is that. This is Brick Gardens. This is what it is. This is what it is. So each and everyone, the car renter will bring their cars. Do you understand? So it means that at any point in time when the tour operator moves, he moves with some part of the tourism value chain. So the Ghana Hotels Association comes in. The car rentals comes in, the tour guides comes in. If they are kids, the Kids in Tourism comes in. If they are the youth, we have the Tourism Society of Ghana. So it is a whole gamut in itself.
So the Accra City Tour is a private, it's a private idea, basically, from the private sector.
Good. It is something that, I must say that it is more or less a PPP thing, public-private partnership, which of course the Tourism Authority is leading the face. You know, in recent times we've had about 2 public-private partnership forums which has taken place. What we do is to engage our private sector more often, so that our private sector is the engine of our sector. So we engage them more often, more especially as part of the Accra City Tour. We have the Tour Operators Union. We have an MOU with the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, which of course the tours are expected to also extend to the various regions. Like you mentioned, is Kumasi going to get their share? Moving on, in the near future, we are expecting to have these across this tour also move to the various regions of the country.
So it costs about, is it 60 cities or 80 cities to have a tour for an adult?
Yes.
And then for a child, it's about 35 or
Absolutely.
so, and then 20 for students or something
Absolutely.
like that.
Absolutely.
I think that's the cheapest tour anyone can get, the cheapest, because from there, if you want to go to Akosombo, you can't have anything less than 300 cities.
That's it.
Is the authority looking at the cost, the price of some of these tours that people have to embark on? Because we want to promote domestic tourism as well.
Good, bro. As a matter of fact, the tour operators, in as much as we signed the MOU, let me put it across before I go on to that. This domestic tourism campaign, which we call Experience Ghana, Share Ghana campaign, the campaign was launched by His Excellency on the 1st of June in 2020, in 2021. And since it was launched, we've had an increase in our domestic tourism. If initially during the time of COVID, in 2019, before COVID, we had a boom in domestic tourism, about 600,000, right? And then in 2020, 2021, we had limited numbers. It came down to 200,000 and 300,000. Now we are climbing steadily to at par with the 600,000 that we had in 2019. So we can confidently say that since we launched the Experience Ghana, Share Ghana domestic tourism campaign as part of our See Ghana, Eat Ghana, and Wear Ghana, Feel Ghana campaign, we have seen significant boost in our domestic tourism. Let me come back to your question. What the authority has done is that as part of the MOU with the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, we have been able to get them to be able to have packages, rebate packages. I wish the tour operators were here to give their view on this, so that you can have their view also in respect of what they have done with the Hotels Association also. Now, the various tourism value chain are speaking with each other, are having a stakeholders conference, a stakeholders forum, where the tour guides are involved, the Hotels Association are involved, the GTA is involved, the travel agents are involved, the tour operators are involved, the tour guides. So all of us are involved. What it means is that we have been able to come to a conclusion where rebates for various tours have been given. Let's say let's say a tour guide is picking a tour to Akosombo, like you mentioned. Maybe it cost about, let's say, 100 Ghana. Okay. Because of the discussions, it will probably drop to 50 Ghana or even 40 Ghana. Do you get it? Yes. So these are the discussions that have gone on and are still ongoing with the Hotels Association, the tour operators, the tour guides, and a host of our tourism value chain. So in order for Ghanaians to have a holistic experience of our domestic tourism, these are some of the measures that have been put in place by the ministry and the Ghana Tourism Authority.
It needs to go down because the country is hard.
Very well.
And people must go out there and see what we have in the country.
Absolutely,
We'll
bro.
soon talk about toilets on our roads.
Yeah.
Because when you're going for tourism, definitely you need toilets on the road. And it's hard to find them. But I'm sure you tell us something about that. We'll be right back after this break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. Welcome back from the break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Ismail Akwe. Our guest is Kofi Atakakra Kusi. He is the Deputy Head of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. We're talking about Kwewu Easter, we're talking about domestic tourism. But before we even talk about the public toilets on our roads, let's just go a little bit back to the Kwewu Easter celebration that was just held. What were some of the challenges that you faced as an authority?
Good. We had a very successful event And I would say that one of our major challenge, of course, it's been a major challenge, because if I say a major challenge, what I mean is that we had close to about over 400 people registering to fly the paragliding. A lot of people registered because a lot of thinking, a lot of marketing, a lot of PR went into we expecting people to come and register to fly. And the major challenge had to do with the weather.
Okay.
You do recall when I was giving my submissions, I indicated that we have various local organizing committees that we work with. We work with the Kwewu East, Kwewu West, Kwewu South district assemblies. We worked also with the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, the military service, the police service, the Ghana Meteorological Services. So one major challenge at the paragliding site was the weather. The weather was not favorable at all. So you could see that the numbers that we were able to fly dropped. We flew close to about 194 flights, and then out of the 194 we had 188 tandem pilots and then flying, and then 6 solo pilots. We were expecting to fly almost everyone, but that notwithstanding, what the authority has put in place is that, we have this corporate paragliding festival which we usually do in September. September, it's usually the tourism month. So in September, our chief executive has indicated that corporate paragliding festival would be held, and that those who couldn't fly obviously would have the opportunity to fly. So our major challenge had to do
with refunds.
What is happening is that we are having a post-mortem. Obviously their monies are not locked up. Okay. They are still with us, and that would we are still having a post-mortem, and that's post-mortem we would know how to communicate back to the revelers.
Some of them are not from here.
Yes,
some would be leaving. So
exactly, my brother. And one thing also is that because Ghana has been sold out there so well. You do recall when the president visited London, there was a launch of Destination Ghana. Yeah. That launch is to showcase Ghana back to the world after the restrictions have been lifted. And what it means is that Ghana is absolutely ready, open and ready to receive our foreigners, our tourists, people of African descent, our diasporans. So, bro, if you asked with the question where you are saying that some would have to go and come back, of course, we have sold Ghana to the world to understand that they even want to go and come back again. Yes. So, in as much as they have not been able to fly, they would want to go back, go and come back. Already they were here, they have experienced our culture, our heritage, our adventure, our history, our customs, our traditions, and as part of that, they have been able to inculcate themselves in the Ghanaian setting as part of our Experience Ghana, Share Ghana agenda. So obviously, they even want to come back. So they will definitely come back for the Corporate Paragliding Festival.
And the other challenges?
Yes, the other challenges had to do with the various events that went on. Those I would say were not challenges, but they were goodwill. We had a number of people at the various events and activities that took place, and then also there were the various tourist sites and attractions. The other challenges also had to do with the tourist sites and attractions. Of course, some of these tourist sites and attractions are the Tourism Authority and the Ministry is looking at bringing them to that global standard. Yes, there are various tourist sites and attractions in the Kwewu Enclave. So in 2019, there was an LI 2393, which was passed by Parliament, Tourist Sites and Attractions Regulations. And that regulations is giving the Tourism Authority a lot of support in order to be able to regulate the activities at the tourist sites and attractions. So you look at the paragliding site, the road to the center was being fixed. As we were there, you could see that the road was still under construction. Those are some of the challenges. But of course, it wasn't too much of a challenge because it was easily motorable. some of the tourist sites also had some challenges with the roads, which are also being fixed. Some of them would also have been earmarked to be fixed as part of the LI 2393 tourist sites and attraction regulations.
Was that an overflow at Akwewu?
Bro, there was a huge overflow.
Is there any possibility of managing the number of people who could attend such a festival, if indeed we can't take in everybody?
Indeed, we can take. We are possible to take almost everyone. All the hotels were full, brother. Yes, all the hotels, the guest houses, there were a lot of people, and the traffic. Let me commend the Ghana Police Service. Right. We thought it would have been a challenge, but Dr. Dampare and his men really were up to the game. Yes, you could see the traffic flow was just so excellent. You could see how they brought a certain motorcycle, which of course they call it police visibility. Yeah. It was really on point, advantage point, making sure that traffic flow was really on point. So let me commend once again the police administration for the support to the industry. And the tourism industry is a multi-sectoral industry, and we cut across various sectors of the economy. So the security services, the meteorological services, the health services, the military service, all of them did a great job, and it minimized some of the challenges that we thought could have been the case. For example, hitherto, at some point in time, some of the hotels also had some challenges, right? But in recent times when we went, we didn't find those challenges there. Like some of the hotels were not keeping their places well, but we sensitized them for them to make sure that we made them aware of the fact that because of the advent of COVID, we have to be very careful and ensure that the right things are done at the various hotels and various tourism establishments in order for us to have a holistic celebration. So, bro, if you ask, it was a very wonderful experience.
Security was good?
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. So now let's go back to our domestic tourism discussion, where there's distance between some tourist sites and also some towns. So let's say someone from Accra wants to go to maybe the central part of Ghana, Ashanti region. You can count the number of washrooms you could use on the roads. And we had an interview with the MPA, and they are saying it's under their jurisdiction to make sure that every fuel station has a washroom because it's mandatory per law. However, we still have inadequate washrooms. Is this something that's of concern to the authority?
Yes, you see, sanitation is very key, right? You do not expect that people would do anything anyhow across the roads as they are applying. As people apply the roads, we don't expect them to do anything anyhow. So what the authority has done is that the authority, there is a multi-sectorial committee, right, which we call, there is also an interministerial committee where we have the various top men deal at that level. So this has come to our information, and it has been relayed to the committee. The committee is working assiduously on it. I'm happy that you mentioned NP. I do recall during the time of Tampuli, Hassan Tampuli, Honorable Hassan Tampuli, he's now the MP for Gushegu. I do recall during his time we had an extensive meeting on that, because we've realized that when tours are moving to various tourist sites and attractions, they usually stop at the filling stations. So we had more or less multi-sectorial committee meeting where the NPO was also involved, and then we made sure that our grievances are known, and then also the authority is also looking at how to push the tourism development fund. We have a tourism development fund which is paid 1% from all the patrons who visit the various tourism establishments. So the authority is also looking at also pushing more in terms of looking at the washrooms along the roads to the various tourist sites and attractions, and also the tourism establishments.
Now, when we come to the tour companies or some of the tour organizations that we have, are they all regulated? And are they supposed to be regulated or licensed by the Tourism Authority?
Thank you. That's a very good question. Good. That is where the Tourism Authority's work comes to fore. We are mandated by law to register tourism establishment. If I say we are mandated by law to register this establishment, what it means is that the tour operators are licensed by the Ghana Tourism Authority, the hotels are licensed by us, the travel and tour agencies, the pubs, the restaurants. What is it is that the Ghana Tourism Authority has a whole directorate. We call it Standards and Quality Assurance Department. The department ensures that all these tourism value chain establishments are registered and licensed by the authority. That is why if the authority wants to embark on a city tour, we will deal with the tour operators. The tour operators are all licensed by the authority. So on this note, I would urge all travel and tour agencies and tour operators to register also with the authority and also register with the tour operators in order to make sure that your activities are regulated accordingly. Anytime you go by the laid down rules and procedures, your activities obviously are regulated appropriately. So like you asked, we make sure that we regulate all these tourism establishments.
So are we talking about all hotels, all of them, or there are some specific or particular hotels that are supposed to be getting licenses from the authority?
All hotels are expected to be licensed by the authority. Obviously, we have some recalcitrant ones who are in there. Of course, we call on them to come to the authority. As a matter of fact, we have regional offices across the length and breadth of this country. So if you go to Western Region, we have our Western Regional Manager there. You can go there and then you would have access to the office and then register. So all hotels from 1-star to 5-star, everybody, and then guest houses.
Okay.
And then we have some motels. The motels are along the road. Yeah, so all of them are expected to register and then be licensed by the authority. If you are not licensed by the authority has the mandate to close you down appropriately.
Have you gone after anyone before?
Yes, we have. Even in Kwahu, a lot happened there. A week before the Kwahu Easter Paragliding Festival and a week before the Easter celebrations in there, what the authority did was that our Eastern Regional Manager, Frederick A.J. Rudolph, had to visit various hotels across the length and breadth of Kwahu and the Eastern region. A lot of hotels were closed down.
Closed down?
Yes, they were closed down outrightly. Why were they closed down? Some were not adhering to the rules and regulations and the standards that have been set by the authority. Yes. So, and any time when the authority embarks on these, we call it enforcement exercise. When the authority embarks on the enforcement exercise, what happens is that we always ensure that the right things are done. So we embark on it with the Ghana Police Service. They are always with us in order to ensure safety and security.
You mentioned pubs and also bars. Are they also supposed to?
They are all under the Ghana Tourism Authority. Yes.
And they are all mandated.
They are all
of them?
mandated. Yes.
There are so many of them in every corner.
Exactly, my brother. So, my brother, when you go to any pub, when you go to any hotel, look out for the Ghana Tourism Authority license before probably you sleep there, so that just in case something happens, if something happens and they are not registered, then you are in your own hands. Do you get it? So a couple of times we've had reports where issues or activities have gone on within hotels, and the first thing the police would ask is that, do you have a Ghana Tourism Authority license? If you don't have, then you have really faulted the law. Yeah. So that's it, bro. And even in Kwahu, we have this Kwahu Easter travel guide. What we did was that most of the licensed hotels are in this guide. So if you are not, some of them who are not registered are not here. And this guide gives you a whole lot of activities that went on, whatever went on in Kwewu is all in the guide. I think I'll leave this copy with you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Very
so
well.
this is quite very nice copy. Is it going to be in every hotel? Is it going to be in our flights?
Good.
Where can we find them?
Good. What is it is that a lot were given out in Kwewu, and then we are trying as much as possible to print a lot more copies for the various institutions. A lot were sent to the hotels in Kwewu, a lot were sent to the pubs, the car rentals, travel and tour agencies, and then even revelers ranging from Obomin to Mprayaso to Etibie to Abetifi and all environment within Kwewu.
What's the next festival, the next big one that's coming up?
Good. The next one is Panafest Emancipation Day celebrations,
okay.
And that is where our we appreciate our heritage as a people. It has to do with the slave trade movement. The slave movement that went on. I told you early on that I'm a Pan-Africanist, so I believe in the Pan-African experience, and it has to do also with the fact that we try to connect with our roots. We try to connect with our ancestors for them to, for us to feel part of the history. You know, Marcus Garvey makes a statement that a people without a history probably are not worth dying for, isn't it? Good. If you do not have a history, then you are not existent. So we need to entrench our history as a people. If I say we need to entrench our history as a people, what I mean is this. The Ghana Tourism Authority, during the year of return, one of our main selling point had to do, during the year of return, had to do with our heritage sites. And the year of return was tied to the slave trade movement. So you see that our heritage as a people is very important. And it is one selling point which really gives Ghana it gave Ghana the international recognition out there.
So what's the authority going to do during the Emancipation Day? Is there going to be any surprises for us? Is there anything special?
Yes, usually during the Emancipation Day, what the authority does is that we have visits to Asen Manso, Asen Praso, those river, those places where the slaves were taken to, and then that is where they had their last bath before they were transported outside there. As a matter of fact, during the year of return, the year of return really is in 1619, about 400 years, when our ancestors were picked up from Jamestown in Accra here to Jamestown in Virginia. Right. So there is Jamestown also in Virginia, in the USA. So it connects with the Panafest Emancipation thing. So this year we are also trying as much as possible to make it big. Why would we say that we are trying as much as possible to make it big? You know, His Excellency the President has launched Destination Ghana in UK, and it dovetails into the year of return, and the follow-up, which is the Beyond the Return. Beyond the Return has about 7 pillars, which of course we are focusing on the pillars, and one has to do with Invest in Ghana, one has to do with Pan-African heritage and innovation. So with that, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to push traffic to Ghana using Destination Ghana and Beyond the Return. In as much as we are doing that, we are also looking at raking in $2.5 billion into the economy.
Well, this is a great feat, and also the monies are huge. Definitely every Ghanaian is also contributing to the tourism industry through the tourism levy. We'll talk about that right after this break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Ismail Akwe, and our guest is Kofi Attakusi, and you are the the deputy head of corporate affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. You've given us so much insight into the tourism industry in Ghana and how it's operating. And I think this is quite an important discussion because every Ghanaian should be in on it and also be rooting for more people to come into the country, more people to see our heritage and our culture. And if we don't bring it out, people will just tell your story for you. So we are telling our own story and we are bringing in people to see them. However, every Ghanaian is also paying some money as tourism levy to the tourism authority. But why so? Because at the end of the day, we also go through domestic tourism and we pay for it. So why do you need to pay extra levy for tourism?
Bro, as a matter of fact, what the tourism levy seeks to achieve as part of the National Tourism Development Plan 2013 to 2027, what the authority is doing and has done is to fashion out the tourism development levy. The tourism development levy is charged on the service that the patron seeks to achieve from the tourism establishment. For example, my brother, if you sleep in a hotel, right, it is rather charged on the establishment that will pay to the authority. So the money you give to the hotel, right? The hotel will charge the 1% on that money and remit back to the authority. Okay. Good. You were asking why is it so? Good. As part of the National Tourism Plan, National Tourism Development Plan, and our marketing strategy, and what the authority seeks to achieve is to look at development of our tourist sites and attractions, and then also the development of tourism in general. What I mean is this: when the president launched Destination Ghana in the UK, he mentioned that $40 million is going to be put aside as part of the Ghana Tourism Development Bank project. Ghana Tourism Development Bank project, yes. What it seeks to achieve is to be able to develop the various tourist sites and attractions, and this one we have support also from the World Bank. So we are looking at be able to develop the various tourist sites and attractions across the length and breadth of the country. As I'm speaking with you, renovation works are ongoing at Ebri Botanical Gardens. 1, 2, Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum.
I was going to mention that one because it's been left to rot.
Exactly.
And we still take money.
Work
go
is
there and see
ongoing.
nothing.
Yes, my brother.
Work is ongoing.
Work is ongoing.
So
yes.
has it been closed now or is it still operating?
It is operating, but not because of the works ongoing. The place is not really functioning too much.
The last time I went there, I didn't see any signs of work being done.
Work is ongoing, my brother. As a matter of fact, the funds have been made available, okay. And if you speak with the director of the place, Alaji would indicate to you that yes, renovation works has started, and we hope to achieve the best for that park because it rakes in a lot into the economy. As a matter of fact, Ebri Botanical Gardens is also there. We have Yas Antoine Museum in Ejiso is also there. Menchia Museum are all under the World Bank project, where we are trying as much as possible to be able to renovate, refurbish, and be able to make sure that these tourist sites and attractions are brought to that in global and international standard. So, my brother, if you ask, the tourism levy, it helps in being able to bring our tourism back to fruition. You know, in recent times, most of our activities, and most of it has been from the tourism levy because it helps us to be able to look at where the loopholes are, and then we are able to clip them appropriately.
So which loopholes were there in the past that now have been sealed? What are like the successes of the tourism authority compared to, let's say, 10 years ago or 15 years ago?
Good, bro. You've asked a very good question. Some of the loopholes, I must confess, probably may have to do with the tourist sites and attractions, right? That is why the tourist sites and attractions regulations LI 2393 came into force in 2019 in order to be able to for us to focus more on our tourist sites and attractions, and then packaging of our cultural experiences, packaging of some of the natural experiences, natural resources, our cultural, societal experiences, and all that. So all these had to do with marketing, how we were able to bring up this project development plan in order to make sure that our tourism is up to that international standard. So some of these challenges, of course, since the inception of the tourism levy, we've been able to put them to that. We've been able to make sure that they are brought to that international standard. For example, the roads leading to some of the tourist sites. Okay. Right. You do recall when Kintampo Waterfall, when we had the issue there. You do recall
the incident where someone died.
Exactly. That, for instance, it was the Tourism Development Fund that quickly rushed in to be able to salvage the situation. So if you go to Kintampo now, you realize that the place has been kept very well, and that brought to fruition the tourism levy, the tourism levy, the tourism regulations. That is the LI 2393, tourist sites and attractions regulation. So obviously, since we got the tourism levy, it has helped the authority to plan, right? Planning has become one of our major things that we do because of a little bit of funding around, so that we are able to know where we need to put the trucks.
Besides Kakum, we have other canopy walkways in the country. I know there's one in Tema area. There's another around Akosombo and other places. Have they all been certified by the tourism authority?
Most of these places, what it is that we have our product development and investment directorate, and they are looking at all these places, those places that needs to be certified. It goes through some rigorous scrutiny. Okay. So as I'm speaking with you, all those places are being looked at through our product development and investment wing, so that we do not falter with the law. They do not also falter with the law. We make sure that each and everyone is within the confines of the law.
Helicopter tours, do we have that yet? No? Is it in the plans?
It's something that would definitely come in the plans. Of course, you know that there is an airport that would happen in the eastern region, and it's to open up the eastern region. So moving on and on, obviously, we are expecting to have such initiatives. And like I said, it is tourism. The engine of the tourism industry mainly has to do with the private sector. It is mainly private sector driven. So we are looking at a time when investment, one of the pillars like I mentioned as part of the Beyond the Return is invest in Ghana. So we are looking at our indigenous entrepreneurs investing into some of these tours, helicopter tours, and then we are able to bring helicopters and then have tours with it and all that. It gives, and you know, when you are in, it's just like how the drone will do its work, isn't it? But you have a personal experience of how the place, for example, when you and I, when we travel, we are in this plane, of course, you see, when you watch down, you see a whole lot of array, like a whole lot.
And we hope not to see galamsey pits and all sorts of things that we're not supposed to see. All right, but let's talk about outbound tourism, where Ghanaians go out there to other places. Does the authority have a hand in that as well? Because so many countries are coming up, and there are some places Ghanaians go and then they are not allowed entry, and some people suffer at certain countries where you might not even expect people to be rejected or returned. Do you have a hand in those traveling outside Ghana for touristic purposes?
What the authority does is that we directly liaise with the Ghana Immigration Service and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So at any point in time when Ghanaians have issues, when they have issues, of course, anytime they call on us, what we do is that if it has to be referred to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the Ghana Immigration Service, we do that. What the authority also does is that we, as an authority, we are mandated by the law by the law, as in the Tourism Act, Act 817/2011, passed in 2011. What it mandates us is to market the country out there. So, as an authority, we always undertake international fairs and exhibitions. Recently, personally, I also came from South Africa. It was a wonderful experience because you are able to pool the pull factor. You pull people, you pull tourists, you pull the diasporans into this country, right? It's a way of the authority also trying as much as possible to be able to market ourselves out there. Once we go out there, and our fellow Ghanaians who always go out there, they also engage in a form of marketing, in a form of support to the authority in terms of marketing. They go out there and market and then bring people in here. For example, the tour operators, they always go out there and then they bring clients in here. So it helps us to be able to streamline our activities as an authority.
Qatar or Ghana? Dubai or Ghana? I'm sure this question, if you ask a lot of Ghanaians, they might say, oh, Dubai or Qatar, because they see very beautiful pictures. They see all the lights. They see everything like that. Those in Ghana will tell you the roads are dark, and sometimes the roads, or most of the time, the roads are really bad. Is this something that might change anytime soon?
We are virtually looking at making sure Ghana becomes #1 or the preferred tourist destination in West Africa, and probably even the entire Africa. You know about the Marine Drive tourism development project. The Marine Drive is expected to house a number of projects in there, a number of high-rising hotels, number of our tourism value chain are expected to be there. So Rome obviously was not built in a day, my brother. So we expect that the tourism authority will we are putting the necessary measures in place. Also, like I said, we are a multi-sectoral agency, so we liaise with the various sectors of the economy. Where the energy ministry needs to come in, we bring them in. Where the forestry, where the environment ministry needs to come, we bring them in. Where the foreign affairs needs to come in, we bring them in. So that multi-sectorial committee, interministerial committee, is also working, where we are foreseeing that in the near future, Ghana would obviously also become like Dubai. Obviously, Ghana, we peg ourselves with, we look at how Kenya, we look at how Rwanda, we look at how Tanzania and their tourism is also booming. We as a country also have ours booming. But obviously, as it is, we are looking at making Ghana the preferred tourist destination in West Africa. In as much as we are doing that, we are also looking at raking in as much into the economy. And you know, bro, we can leverage on tourism to make up this country. Trust me, I'm telling you. Tourism is a driving force of any economy. That is why successive governments over the time, I must commend successive governments over the time, have been able to invest into the tourism industry. They have always been able to bring tourism to that pedestal. More especially, let me say, this few years, we've had the year of return bringing in tourists beyond their return, and now Destination Ghana. It is a wake-up call for investors, for them to come on board and invest into the tourism industry. As they invest, it means that we are going to have these skyscrapers and all those, you know, it takes a while to be able to get there. But if we are able to make tourism the #1 foreign exchange earner in the country, we are expected to get to the level of Dubai, like you mentioned, to the level of Qatar and all that. So, bro, we will get there.
Some time ago, we used to call ourselves as Ghana, Gateway to Africa. What's the new slogan?
Thank you. You've asked a very good question. The new slogan is Ghana, center of the world. If we say center of the world, what we mean is this. Ghana being the center of the world, the longitude and latitude meet at a point in Tema. So Ghana is virtually the center of the world. Let me give you a story, bro. When I went to South Africa, right, I addressed a gathering of a lot of tourism practitioners at Meetings Africa. That was sometime late February, early March. I addressed them with the center of the world, and come and see, it was laughter all over. Everybody was laughing, and they wanted to know what is it about Ghana that we have, that we call ourselves the center of the world. Of course, Ghana is the center of heritage. Ghana is the center of culture. Ghana is the center of adventure, just as paragliding. Ghana is the center of architecture. If you go to Menchia Palace Museum, you look at our architecture and it's awesome. Our culture and traditions and our customs. Most of our diasporans and people of African descent come into the country just to experience. So obviously, those who couldn't fly, they will be coming back to be able to experience more of our tourism value chain. All that we have, of course, they would like to experience. So, bro, if you ask, Ghana is the center of the world.
Kofi Ata Kakra Kusi, I think you can sell anything. And you are selling Ghana. Well, thank you for doing that. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. You can watch us every Monday on GhanaWeb TV and also on all of GhanaWeb's digital channels. My name is Ismail Akwe. Be safe.
Within the last 24 hours, several Ghanaians have taken to social media to report of suffering from suspected food poisoning. A lot of these reports have been attributed to food consumed at one of Ghana's popular fast food chains, Mawako Fast Foods. We are here to speak to one of the victims to find out from him what happened. My name is George AC. This is Say Loud. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. This is Say Loud on GhanaWeb TV. With me, George AC. I am seated here today with Ebo. He is one of the people who have suffered from the suspected food poisoning, which has been attributed to food bought from Mawako. Ebo, how are you?
I'm doing better this morning.
If you say you are doing better this morning, how has your situation been before this morning?
So I bought the food from Mawako on Sunday afternoon. Then I ate it. Everything was usual. Then Monday morning, I got up, tried to do my usual exercise before going to work. But then I had a tummy upset. So then I came back to try to do the exercise, but I wasn't too good. So I just stopped then, took my shower, and then I had some medication in the office. So I went to the office, took the medication, expecting that I should be better. But then 30 minutes after, I began to feel very sick. So I spoke to a colleague of mine and asked for the office driver. Unfortunately, he wasn't around. And I was like, well, the police hospital isn't far from me, so I can drive there myself and check myself in. So I went there. Long story short, they had to admit me. Then when the results came, the doctor said that I had multiple infections, but he didn't say what in particular. He just prescribed some medication and then discharged me. So my colleagues brought me back to the office. Then I had to leave my car there actually. Then my dad came to pick me up and brought me home. But then in the evening, I felt a little bit okay, though I was still weak. in the evening, I had a relapse, and I had to be rushed into the Obojo Polyclinic. And when I got there, I was just throwing up. So I had to be wheeled into the ward and given several bouts of IVs just to stabilize my condition. So I slept there on Monday night. That was my second admission for Monday night. Then on Tuesday, I frequented the washroom. I lost count of how many times I went. So they said that they would have to keep me there too on Tuesday. I missed IVs. Then later on they changed to tablets. Then in the evening, I started getting a temperature again. I think it was about 39.2 or so. So I had to get another injection and IV again till it became normal. Then Wednesday morning at about 10, they said they were discharging me because they felt I should be okay to come home. But I came home and I was still struggling to eat because I was very nauseous. Then when I ate in the afternoon, I was a bit okay. Then later on, I started throwing up again. Then in the evening, I tried to get something because I was very hungry. But all this while, whenever I eat, whatever I eat, I just go to the washroom or I throw up. So in the evening, I felt the need to go to the hospital again. But we spoke to the doctor. He recommended that I should take in some soup and maybe rice. And there was a tablet that he gave me that should be able to help settle my stomach. So I struggled to sleep a bit, but this morning I feel better. Yeah.
What exactly did you buy at Mawako?
Fried rice with chicken.
Was it a takeout?
Yes.
How often do you buy from Mawako?
Truth be told, that's my first time. And it will be my last.
Sorry, but the news is out there that food poisoning. In your position, how have you been able to establish that what you suffered was food poisoning actually?
That's what the doctor said. I didn't say. And so when I went into the polyclinic on Monday evening, there were others there. And so when I sat down for them to do the diagnosis, the doctor he was saying it and he was laughing with the nurses that, where is that Mawako that everyone is talking about? Because it's like everyone who has come in with food poisoning is saying Mawako. And I mentioned that it's at East Legon. And he asked me, why did I eat over there? And I said, yes. Then he said, then you are just one of the victims. So then we would know how to treat you with it.
From your count, how many people did you meet with the same problem at the hospital?
Okay, I was not in a good position to do that count. I was.
But if you.
But then, at least I saw a man who came in with his two sons, and he said his wife was on admission already, and one of the nurses who doubles also at Chumesio Medical Center said that 10 people had come in over there and 7 had been admitted, all from Mawako.
At what point did you get to know that you had suffered food poisoning?
In the evening, because like I said, the police hospital didn't specifically tell me it was food poisoning. They just mentioned I had multiple infections.
So it was on your second admission
Yes.
that you found out. Yeah. Then the social media thing came in.
Yes, that I saw just this morning.
What have you learned from there? I mean, so far, what have you heard from all the reports?
Yeah, they are all reporting similar incidences. Some families, some individuals, some friends. I mean, for me, it was just a regular Sunday afternoon. I stepped out because I wanted to get some lunch. There was no one at home. So I decided, well, let me just go there and get something to eat. And I bought that.
we are yet to establish if indeed this is a result of the food you and as well the others ate from Mawako.
Yes.
But what would be your what would you say in response or in reaction to Mawako and what they do, if it has anything to do with what you have suffered now?
Well, first of all, I think FDA needs to come in, go there, check their kitchen, their surroundings. If they can get some of the food samples that they have used, they need to test them and see. I mean, it's vegetables, so it's likely something could have gone wrong somewhere, and maybe it's a case of hygiene, more or less.
But have you received any have you been contacted by Mawako?
No.
FDA?
No. I mean, I saw the Twitter trend just this morning, so I also just tweeted what I had suffered as well.
People are advocating for a class action suit against Mawako. Would you join?
It's not out of place, because for a restaurant that feeds lots of people, you have to be very careful about what you are serving to the people. Other than that, these are hundreds, possibly thousands of people's lives at risk, and if someone dies out of this, we wouldn't know. Maybe those of us who have access to social media can say something, but those who do not, we never know.
Do you think this is a test case for Ghana, where probably, like it is being suggested, a class action should or must be taken to serve as a deterrent or to create a pathway for dealing with issues like this?
Yeah, I think the FDA needs to do. I would say that the FDA needs to do more about some of these things. They need to step up their game when it comes to standards, especially with food, because food is something that we cannot live without. So, yeah, I think it's something that it should be a test case for the country, for Ghana.
If you are to summarize what you felt throughout the process, throughout your being sick and all that, the entire experience.
It's not something I would want anyone to experience. I mean, I've been sick before, malaria, headaches, fever, but for all my life I've never been admitted. The longest I've spent in a hospital is the waiting period and the time I spend with the doctor. We can go around every hospital and check and ask for medical records from you, you wouldn't find any. So for me to have been admitted 3 days in a row and not for anything than food, because you can't eat when you eat, it's coming out one way or the other. It's not something that's pleasant or I would want anyone to experience.
So this is Say Loud on GhanaWeb TV. We've been speaking to Ebo, one of the victims of the suspected food poisoning suffered by patrons of Mawako fast food joint. He tells us that it's an experience he doesn't even wish on anybody else. We will take a short breather here, and when we return, we speak to Ebo's father. Welcome back. This is still Say Loud on GhanaWeb TV with me, George AC, and within my hands at this moment is the pack which the food Ebo ate was packaged in. I think this is Mawako's packaging and all that. And then I also have in my hands receipts from the police hospital and the other hospital the second hospital Ebo was admitted at. I've been joined by Ebo's father, Senior, and he's here to tell me more about the plight of his son. Daddy, at what point did you get the call about your son's situation?
Well, that's last Friday I traveled to Cape Coast for a funeral with my wife. So we returned on Sunday afternoon. When we got home, because we were not in, and it was Mother's Day, Ebo chose to go out to buy some food. Luckily, when we came home, he had started eating the food. So I went and said, this might be a delicious food, but he knows that we usually don't buy food from outside. He always eat at home. So he gave explanation that because we are not coming, that's why he went for this food for a change. I tasted the chicken just a little. I was lucky. He enjoyed the food and left some. Then usually he doesn't get up late in the night. But when we were sleeping in the midnight between 2 and 3, he woke up. I said, "It's not yet 5 for Ebo to bath. Let's see." Then before 5, normally he wakes up to take his bath. He went to loo again. He dressed up and went to office.
At what point did you realize things had actually gotten serious?
I was, apart from traumatized, at age 65, I've seen people struggling to die. When briefing, when you are passing, I mean, you know, if you go to hospitals, you see. So that made me, that fear put me that no, I cannot keep him overnight here. When it is midnight, where do you go? Between 2 and 3, that's when people usually pass away. Between 2 a.m., 3, 4 a.m., that's when sick people pass away. I just read that in the one of these social medias. So that motivated me to send him to the
So for you, your greatest fear was losing your son?
Yes. Taking care of a child from day one, passing through all the education for him to get where he is. And by somebody's mistake, you lose your son. It's he who has to take care of me through my old age. He has to bury me, but not I bury him.
You were in the ER and you talk of other people bringing their family and reporting with the same situation, which was attributed to Mawako and all that. I'm seeing all that. What was going through your mind at that point?
First was to ensure that he gets well, and I take the case up. So this morning, I consulted 1 or 2 people. Already to Mesua Hospital, there were about 7 people. Some of them understand, even they put pampers on them. You have to use pampers because they were just passing through, so they were suffering. So you started checking on social media and the news outlet, whether you find something. Then we take the case up. I planned this morning to go to Mawako to see the management and make formal complaint. If they tell me something reasonable, is there, I will know whether to sue or not to sue.
You are planning to sue?
Yes. I'll just find a lawyer. But if they tell me something, I mean, unexpected bills, I'm a pensioner. Suppose I was not having money and we are at the hospital.
How much has this cost you?
I have not total, but I mean up and down fuel. I was at the hospital 5 times. Go and bring this, go and buy this. The inconvenience and trauma Can you pay for
it goes
that
beyond
services?
monetary expenses.
Money, you have to buy the drugs. You have to buy the drugs. It's not free. The inconveniences, unbudgeted inconveniences, because of somebody's interest or profit. If the management is working well, that's my uncle. They have to put all this into, see the people they employ. Did they test the food before they ate? They sold them out? That particular food, which has more than, I won't know how many, but social media is estimated in hundreds. Did they themselves eat some of the food, the workers, the management?
There are calls for victims to come together and probably sue in a class action. Do you believe that we have gotten to the point where probably this should become something that we do in Ghana? Because we are yet to hear anything of such sort in the history of Ghana.
I don't want to talk about my experience somewhere, which people let me down. Otherwise, I would have been a millionaire. I got sick overseas and people were advising that we should take that action, but we didn't. And I've suffered for that. So this one, if the management have a way of compensating quietly, yes, and then they do their work well. No, we want investors, we want an open society. But open society doesn't mean that you can do anything anyhow. Some of these vegetables, how they are being treated with this spray and others, how it was treated. The kitchen staff, how well were they trained, or they just pay people for anybody to just go and work there?
Talking about the vegetables and interest and all that,
the salad and others.
Food and Drugs Authority has shown interest in this matter. It has asked victims to reach out with information and details that it can work with. What would you want to see the FDA do about this matter?
Whether FDA will do the work. I'm a retired public servant or civil servant, where some of us did our best, but on retirement, and I'm doing one or two things, I've seen the frustration people go through in getting services. So if only FDA will do their work, if somebody is not going to take the file and put it in his drawer, put weight on it before they take action, that is the problem. It's a general sickness in Ghana here. Those who are supposed to work, they are interested in riding in the cars. The cars they are giving to them to go to the field. Whether they go to the field to do the proper work, or they take the car to do their family business. That's the fear. Government have set up, but that we the individuals, whether our conscious, we work according to why we're employed. That is why people are losing faith in government, some government institutions. Whether FDA can work and give us the report.
That's your fear.
That's my fear.
Okay. So if you have anything to tell the management of Mawako, what would you tell them?
They have to compensate us. 4 days he has been at home. A police hospital gave him 4 days. So it means tomorrow he should go to work. So assuming he's not still fit to go to work, what do you do? Assuming he's a daily, somebody who does daily wage job because of somebody's negligence. And if you don't take action, they will repeat it. Next time it will be worse. Not only my work, I wish other restaurants too. The FDA will go around and do their work. That's what they have been paid for. That's why government have bought vehicles for them, fuel them.
Thank you, Mr. Ebo, for your time. The report still continues. On social media, it's rampant. People are reporting of multiple admissions with very severe conditions, and we are hoping the FDA investigation will establish the facts in this matter and the appropriate actions taken. The sheer number of victims involved in this alleged food poisoning at Mawako is quite overwhelming. We've caught up with Frank at his office. He tells us how he and some of his colleagues got involved and were affected. Please tell us about your ordeal.
Okay. All right, so that was on Saturday, around 5 p.m. Okay, before 4:30 p.m. I went to Mawako, Slogan, to have my lunch. So I went with someone, and then after which, when we finished, I decided I was going home. On my way home, I received a call from my friends. I think that same day was one of us' birthday. Yes, we were all together, and on my way, I was called to come around, but then I was very tired because, I had a very busy day. So they called to tell me that they were going to Mawako. Then I've already been there. Yeah, so I didn't join them. They went to buy food. So it was on Sunday that after church, one of us was rushed to the hospital, Ghana Canadian Hospital. So immediately, another one too, started reacting, and also was taken to a different hospital in Adjungano. So we were there. After 5 minutes, another person too was rushed in the same hospital in Adjungano. And then the fourth person too started feeling like had a reaction, but it wasn't that severe. So the following day, on Monday or so, she couldn't go to work, and then she also was rushed to the Obuju Polyclinic. So after work, we have to go there to visit her. So immediately we got there, we met at 3 gentlemen who just, on arrival, they were like, you guys, what are you guys doing here? But we met at Mawako. I said, I said, look at what these people have done to me. So the guy was just like, oh, just look at what's happened. He also started complaining. So we all met there, trying to, talk. And then, in fact, they were very disappointed and they're very angry. So later on, we left and then we went back home. So personally, I started reacting on Tuesday when I came to work, and I think my colleagues even saw that I was reacting. We had a departmental meeting, and then immediately after the meeting, I was even shivering. And then for the first time, I got sick, and then I was running my stomach. I didn't understand. I go home, and then I was just going. And the following day, that was yesterday, on Wednesday, I was so weak, I was still going. So, but fortunate for me, I was given something to take to just flush out the poison. And that was how come I was okay. But so far, wherever we go, and the people, especially those who have met there, are also complaining the same issue. And this is to the extreme, because even if it's a slight food poisoning or anything, not everybody will have reacted. So, but it's like every single person that visited the place on that day, Saturday, have reacted and has been rushed to the hospital. And who knows what has happened to those who have not been able to come out, Because a friend of mine even asked a question that, so what, I hope, the person asked, I hope that nobody has died out of it, but how would you know? Yeah, this is just a question. Since we don't have any proof or so, we will take it like that. One of us to have, I think the food, we have samples to there. So if they are interested in getting the food sample, we have it in the fridge, so we can make it available to any approved entity or organization that would demand for it, and then they reach out to me for the information. But I wouldn't. But it's still there, as I said earlier. We still have samples there.
You went to the hospital. What did the doctors say? Was it specified to you that this was as a result of food poisoning to you or any of the people that you know suffered this?
Okay, so to my colleagues, it was there. That was confirmed, food poisoning. That was what was confirmed. But personally, as I said, though I reacted, I didn't go to the hospital. I did a self-medication and I'm okay. Yeah.
For you and the people that you know that were affected, how much did this affect you?
Oh, I think...
Are there some stories to share around this?
We are greatly affected because, for all you know, we are expecting to go to work on Monday. And then we have a lot of things to do. Some of us are even preparing towards marriage ceremony and all of that. And then this thing just happened. And in fact, yeah, because some of my colleagues are even getting married this month. And then for this to happen, in fact, I think, I don't know, but like, we are greatly affected.
Is it the bride or the groom?
Both. I'll say both. But like, as I said, I've generalized it. Some of us are supposed to get married this month. And I don't know how it's going to affect it, whether it's going to, you know, affect it in a way or not. But we are just praying to God that
for this particular person, what is the condition, current condition?
For the current condition, I think so far I heard from that person yesterday, and then by the grace of God, it's okay. It's okay. Not too strong, but it's a bit okay. A sister of mine too, I called this morning, and though she's not too strong, but she's. I think we'll wait to the end of the week and then see if there's any new development. Then we take it up from there.
This is Say Loud on GhanaWeb TV. It has been with me, George AC. Until we meet for our next episode. Bye.
The Ghana Football Association on Tuesday, May 17, 2022, issued a verdict on the alleged fixed game between Ashgold and Interlight, which was played in the 2020-2021 season. The two clubs have been demoted to Division 2 after being found guilty of match fixing and match manipulation. Today, we are in the office of the lawyer of Interlight, who have appealed the decision by the disciplinary committee, to speak to him on a variety of arguments in his 15-page statement. This is Sports Tech. I'm Perez as well, and after this break, we talk law. Welcome back from the break. This is Sports Check on GhanaWeb TV, and my guest today is lawyer Felix Nanose. He is the legal rep for Interlight, who have applied an appeal. Welcome back from the break. This is Sports Check, and my name is Perez as well. My guest today is lawyer Felix Nanose, who is the legal rep for Interlight, who have appealed the decision by the disciplinary committee of the Ghana Football Association to demote his club and Ashgold to Division 2. Like I've read your appeal, and I think we have over 15 pages. And
is it 15? Yeah, I think so.
15 pages, but I want us to dwell more on the particulars of the. I think that's where the meat is.
Yeah.
We have four
grounds of appeal.
Yes.
That we filed challenging the decision of the disciplinary committee. Now, the first ground of appeal, as you have it in our appeal, is the fact that it's our contention that the decision that was given by the disciplinary committee was against the weight of evidence that was adduced or led during the proceedings. Now, what basically that means is that if you consider and evaluate what actually was placed on the table by the prosecution, vis-a-vis the investigations that they carried out and the case that they put before the disciplinary committee, if you evaluate it, the charges that were leveled against Interlight's football club was not proven.
But the found evidence of someone who, in quotes, self-volunteer of the club, basically colluding with some players, having interactions with some people at Ashgood to fix the game. I think the main bone of contention is who is the man in question, the Niamua guy.
Okay, so this Emmanuel Niamua, or aka Ni Gogo, used to be with Inter-Allies Football Club.
Okay.
Now, in the 2014-2015 season, Emmanuel Niamua was registered with the club as the logistics officer. He was in charge of making arrangements for football pitch, getting us jerseys and everything that had to do with logistics. So after the 2014-2015 season, he resigned because he had the opportunity to serve his people in his hometown. He was installed as a chief, so he resigned. This is 8 years ago.
Was that communicated to the FA that this man no longer holds any position in
Good. Now, per the regulations of the FA, every football season, you must present the list of officials that you would want to work with. So, from 2014-2015, Emmanuel Niamua was no longer with us. That is the more reason why, in presenting their case, they were only able to pin us down to 2014-2015. Meanwhile, the matter in contention, or the season in contention, is 2020-2021. Why didn't they get evidence to the effect that in 2020-2021, Emmanuel Niamua was part of our club?
The argument from the FA's perspective, and I've heard a few people closer to the FA, they claim that on that particular day, in that particular game, he was present at the pre-match in the name of Inter-Allies. He traveled with the team, he was in the team's hotel. So if I'm not an official of the club, and per what I have read, you have to be an official of a club to represent the club at pre-match. And if Niamua was there, if he traveled with the team, and if he was in the slept in the team's hotel, then clearly, I mean, those are grounds for a layman to assume or to agree with the notion that Niamua is indeed an official of Inter-Allies.
Well, you see, we have it at the back of our mind. After the investigations we ourselves conducted, Emmanuel Niamua had an agenda that he wanted to execute or to push. Because he was an ex-official of Inter-Allies Football Club, of course, he was at every point in time welcome to the club. Once we didn't have any reason to believe that there was this hidden agenda that he wanted to execute, we had no reason to distance ourselves from him. Now, it's true he joined the team bus. It's true he was with the team when they went to the hotel. But that wasn't